The Chicago Bulls, yes, the Chicago Bulls are 5-0 on the season thus far. The first time starting out the season 5-0 since the Michael Jordan era. Hey man, I knew the Bulls were going to be better than expected. I said they were going to finish 6th in the East, maybe slightly better than 500, but I did not expect them to look this good right out of the gate. Now granted, it's still early. We always have to remind ourselves that it's so early in the season. We're only 5 games in. The last time the Bulls got off to a hot start when they signed DeMar, Lonzo, Caruso, we all know what happened at the end of that season, then subsequent seasons after that. But this time just feels a little different because the Bulls are doing it against some of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. If you guys remember in that 21-22 season, the Bulls won a lot of games, but they were always against bad teams and struggled to beat some of the better teams in the league. So far in this 5-0 start, the Bulls have beaten what were projected to be top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference this season, and now in their biggest test yet against the Knicks, who a lot of people predicted would finish 1st or 2nd in the East and could very well be on their way to the finals, the Bulls had their way with them. The Knicks never led in this game after the first quarter. Even though the Bulls blew a pretty substantial lead in the second quarter, leading by as many as 22 points, the Knicks cut the lead down to 3 at one point in the fourth quarter. A lot of back and forth in those final minutes. But the Bulls, like we have seen before so far this season, it's almost like nothing seems to faze them, even when the opposing team goes on a big run. The momentum shift does not get in their heads. They keep playing hard, they lock in, stick to the game plan of playing fast, aggressive, and just whittle their opponent down. Happy Halloween, by the way, to everyone. I'm riding a little high on candy as well as the Bulls win. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe because it's going to be a fun season, man, for the first time in a long time if you're a Bulls fan. You know what? I'll say first about this game because throughout today and yesterday, I've seen so many content creators, media talking heads, some praising the Bulls and giving them their flowers, don't get me wrong, but then a lot doubting this team, questioning whether their early success is real. And the common theme I've seen is that the Bulls are holding their opponents to shooting 26% from 3, and how the Bulls have actually been pretty meh when it comes to defending the paint. In other words, eventually teams are going to figure out the Bulls and just start going inside. And also that teams will eventually start shooting the ball better from 3. They've just been the benefactors of some unlucky shooting nights from other teams. The Knicks tonight shot 40% from 3. That's above league average. They hit 18 threes in total. While on the other hand, the Knicks scored 38 points in the paint compared to the Bulls' 54. The Bulls' defense, I wouldn't say it was top-notch in the paint in this game, but it was solid, and their hustle and effort overall on that end of the floor is what forced the Knicks to take some very difficult shots. But even despite the fact that the Knicks shot 40% from 3, 50% from the field overall, very efficient, they still took the L. Why? Well, one, the Bulls took much better care of the ball, only had 9 turnovers, which was a season low so far, which was great to see, by the way, as that was one of the bigger concerns I had for this team and how sustainable their success is when they're in the bottom 5 in the league in turnovers per game. But the Bulls won this game with their elite level play on offense. And I don't say that word lightly, but their offense was elite tonight. Everyone has been impressed with this team's defense in the early going, which has been a big surprise, but tonight the Bulls took care of the ball, kept pushing the pace, kept the Knicks guessing, took smart shots, got in the lane, got to the free throw line, and were insanely efficient from the field. They shot 53% overall, 46% from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. Not saying everything was perfect, but so much was clicking on that end of the floor for the Bulls. And I cannot emphasize enough just how good Josh Giddey has been. I mean, you guys know me, if you've been following me for some time, I didn't have any issue with the Giddey contract. I thought the contract was perfectly fine. And even more than that, I was always defending Giddey, talking about what he brings to the floor, and something so many teams wish they had is a player that is an elite, unselfish playmaker that makes his teammates around him better. Giddey was on one in this game, not only with his outside shooting, going 4 for 8 from deep, but just attacking the basket, using his size to get downhill, and finishing with ease. 12 for 21 overall from the floor, got to the free throw line 6 times. His shooting, his driving, finishing at the basket, all of it has improved since last season. And I'll even say this, his defense has actually gotten significantly better. Not saying he's an elite defender, but he's gone from being a liability on that end of the floor to recognizing switches, knowing when to provide help defense, reading passing lanes better, not biting on pump fakes, and he hustles on that side of the ball. You guys know that's what I care about. I don't care if you're not the most athletic player to be able to be productive on defense. Just give me 100% on that end of the floor and we're good. But Giddey tonight, just shy of a triple-double once again, 32 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, was the only starter in positive territory at +5 in box plus minus. That contract is looking more and more like a steal by the day. And then Nikola Vucevic, I tweeted during the game, but Vuce is a new man with this group of guys. I mean, when you compare it to how checked out he was just a couple of seasons ago, it is night and day from what you see now. He's much more active in the pick and roll, driving to the basket, more active in moving without the ball. On defense, he's even gotten better. I know he's in a contract year, and I'm sure that's part of why he's playing so hard, but I'm sure he also loves playing with these young guys that fit more with his style of offense and play the way he wants to play and be utilized as a hub on offense and being used in the pick and roll and pick and pop. Vucevic tonight, 26 points, 7 rebounds, was 10 for 17 from the floor, 4 for 8 from 3. He continues to knock that 3-ball down, by the way. Just incredible. I don't know, man. This could get interesting. Like, the Bulls might actually have some suitors for a Vucevic trade at this point. Or hell, I don't know. Maybe the Bulls try and re-sign him now because he's been a great veteran presence on this young team that is actually helping them win. Kevin Huerter, man, big game for him, not necessarily on the scoring front, but mostly his activity on the defensive end and getting in passing lanes and pushing the ball downhill. Like, I have to say, Kevin Huerter, I would assume, and Patrick Williams, all are players that are playing some of their best basketball right now. I talked about this over the offseason, how in order for the Bulls to really succeed and try to get to the playoffs, everything really has to go their way. Everything has to go right. And one of those things was seeing these role players playing at their best and playing more like starters despite them coming off the bench. Like, listen, man, we all clowned AK when he had that comment where he was talking about teams win championships by having really good 8 or 9 players or whatever it was. But he might have been onto something. I mean, still a weird thing to say when you still need a star level player to really get there to a championship level. But the Bulls have shown that depth has been a huge key to their success. They have continuously been getting excellent production from their bench. Iowa's incredible yet again with 22 points, shooting a ridiculous 80% from the field, going 8 for 10 in this game. Patrick Williams has continued to look like a new man with his energy and aggressive play. Jalen Smith was active in protecting the rim and spacing the floor. Modest was a little quieter in this game, but even still coming up with some nice buckets when the Bulls really needed it. This was just a really, really good game for the Chicago Bulls. Give the Knicks credit, though, because they kept fighting. They weren't giving the Bulls any easy possessions, and you know they're going to be hungry for a win this next game. The Bulls play the Knicks in New York on Sunday, and the Knicks have just dropped 3 straight now with this loss. Losing 4 in a row in the early going of the season when they have championship aspirations would be a gut punch. So while I still have a lot of confidence in this Bulls team, I would say it's going to be a very tall order to try and go 6-0 on the season, knowing they're going to be playing the Knicks in New York. We'll see, though. We'll see. For now, my Bulls are undefeated. That's right. They haven't lost a game this season, and what's crazy is they've been doing all this without Kobe White. I don't know, man. This team, they might be legit. I'm not going to get my hopes up too much because I've been burned before, but what these guys are doing right now feels more than just a fluke. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought of the game. Let me know in the comments. Happy Halloween. Stay safe out there tonight. As always, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.